ready for another makeup competition. Rare Beauty has come back for vengeance against Miss Charlotte Tilbury. For today's video, we are doing a makeup competition round two of the most popular brands, Charlotte Tilbury and Rare Beauty. This is a part two because the brands are honestly quite similar that I had enough new products, especially with there being a year in between the last video, that we can do a second matchup. Now, round one, Charlotte Tilbury won by almost a landslide, I want to say. The numbers were closer, but my makeup just looks so much better. So I have some of the same products against new products or two completely new products, and we're going to see if Charlotte Tilbury can continue to hold the title, or will Rare Beauty climb up to the top? If you want to check out part one, make sure you do, because those are some of the most obvious products that people want compared. This one I had to get a little creative with just to make it different from the first one, but we also have some new products that are going to make it interesting. So let's go. In some categories, I couldn't do a new matchup because neither brand had a new product for the matchup. So since the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer won in the primer round last time, I'm just going to use this all over my face. Not part of the competition, but I want to preface with what other products these are going to be paired with. But this Rare Beauty primer is banging. Starting off with eyebrow pencils. Now, since the last video, Rare Beauty has revamped their eyebrow round. Charlotte Tilbury won last time with the brow cheat, but Rare Beauty now has the Brow Harmony Precision Pencil. This has been completely reformulated and redone, and I like it a lot better. So I'm interested to see which one's coming out on top today. Now for the Charlotte Tilbury, I'm pretty much done with it. So I'm gonna have to scrape it against my skin. I like this brow pencil though. I think with brow pencils, the drugstore market in general just does a good job. You don't need an expensive eyebrow pencil. Since I've had this, I've always liked it. They did a good job with the formula, but you know what? So does Maybelline. It's that kind of situation. So while Charlotte Tilbury did a good job with her brow pencil, I don't feel the need to repurchase this, so I am literally scraping this down to the wire here because I probably won't be repurchasing it, but it was fine while I had it. And then on this side of my face, we are going to go Rare Beauty. I was so happy that they redid their eyebrow pencil because their first one was so creamy, but in a bad way, like too messy. It overblended in the brows. The product looked clumpy. This one is a lot drier. It's just overall a better formula. Like, I feel like they listened to me when I critiqued their old brow pencil. The old brow pencil also had a brow gel attached to it. This is just the pencil. Now, if I'm being honest, you guys, like I said, go to the drugstore. You will find a brow pencil you're probably just as happy with. But in this competition, I do think that Charlotte Tilbury has the better formulation. It's a little bit more dry. I have a little bit more control with it, whereas this one is a little bit too soft and not as defined looking. I like a more defining brow pencil. So Charlotte Tilbury is going to win this one, but still, Rare Beauty is the comeback queen for this brow pencil. So much better. Now, round two, we have eyebrow gels. I don't think I used this one in the last competition. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Fix versus the Rare Beauty Eyebrow Gel. So starting off with the Charlotte Tilbury, I've had this in my collection for a while. I do get these sent periodically to me in PR, but I don't think it's a product I would repurchase again. It has average hold and it's a lighter weight brow gel, which is nice if that's what you prefer. I don't think it's a bad brow gel, but it's not what I'm currently into at the moment. What I am currently into is the Rare Beauty eyebrow gel. This is currently my #1 all-time favorite brow gel, so I think you know who's gonna win this round. Somehow they have managed to create one of the strongest hold kind of laminating style brow gels that doesn't get dandruffy or powdery or white flakes in the eyebrows, which is what a product like this with this level of hold typically does. It is the best brow gel I have ever used, I've decided, because it really does not get flaky in the eyebrow, but it has all day hold. It's incredible. The Charlotte Tilbury hold just isn't as strong. So Rare Beauty is going to win this round. Moving into foundations, I used neither of these in last competition, so I thought I would compare the other two foundations in the line. For Charlotte Tilbury, we have the Airbrush Flawless Foundation, and for Rare Beauty, we have their Liquid Touch Foundation. In the first video, I did the tinted moisturizers, so we're going to go for their more full coverage products. Now, these foundations, I would say, have different claims to one another. Charlotte Tilbury, I think, gives a little bit more full coverage, but we're going to see about that today. I've never done these two side by side because the claims are different, so I never thought about it, if I'm being honest. I'm going to use my Haus Labs foundation brush to blend this out. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know I'm really not a fan of either foundation. I don't like the foundations from Rare Beauty and Charlotte Tilbury in general. I don't think it's where either brand stands out. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup. I can't really tell you which one I prefer as of right now. We're going to see how they wear, how they look, how they sit. But I find with the Charlotte Tilbury one, less is more for me. It's quick to look, thick and dry on my skin type. I like this more on days that I apply less of it. So what does that say about this product? But here you go. Now, excuse these shade matches. I was more tan when I bought these. This is the shade 210N, and I do like the application of this better. I don't know, I like a good sponge tip applicator, even in foundation form. Yeah, I'm not 210 anymore. Use an It Cosmetic brush. For this one is a little bit more lightweight, a little bit easier to blend than I would say the Charlotte Tilbury, but I've never really loved the way that this has looked on my skin either. I'm just not a fan of either of these, so let's see how I feel. Charlotte Tilbury versus Rare Beauty. Just based on my experience with both of these foundations, I don't really care for them. If I had a gun to my head and I had to pick, I think right now the Rare Beauty is sitting prettier on my skin, but I do think, generally speaking, I think Charlotte Tilbury wears better. But we're going to call this round a tie, and if we're going to need a tiebreaker at the end, it will be the wear test, and I'll tell you which foundation looks better. But on the market of foundations, I don't really recommend either. So, tie. These will be a tiebreaker if necessary towards the end. Moving on to the next round, which is concealers. These are pretty different products, but I'm gonna do my best since I haven't compared these two. From the Charlotte Tilbury side, we have the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I compared this to the original Rare Beauty concealer in the last video, but for Rare Beauty today, we're comparing it to the Under Eye Brightener. Immediately, the biggest difference is that the Charlotte Tilbury is simply just going to have more coverage. I'm going to try and be minimal with it, but both of them are like radiant, glowy concealers. So to try and make them more even, I'm going to apply just a little bit of product for the Charlotte Tilbury using the BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose N14 brush to blend that out. Now, if you watch my videos, you'll probably know not the biggest fan of this concealer either. It just doesn't really wear well on my under eyes, but you know what? It might wear better today because of how minimal product I'm making an effort to use. Now, this Rare Beauty is interesting. It has the most interesting tip. It's a metal applicator. Oh, it feels so good. And this doesn't have the most coverage. In fact, it has very little, but I was surprised by it when I first tried it out. I just wiped my brush off, by the way, you guys. This instantly looks glowier. Now, Charlotte Tilbury is known for their glowy complexion, so there is a glow to the concealer as well. But this Rare Beauty one is like super glowy, super hydrating. I didn't think Charlotte Tilbury had a product like this, but I did want to compare them just using very light amount of product on the Charlotte Tilbury side. Now, while the style of these products are different, I can tell you now, I've never really liked the Charlotte Tilbury concealer, and I've always really liked this Rare Beauty concealer, in particular for natural makeup days. I think it's a more unique product with its glowy finish as well. So I'm going to give this round to Rare Beauty. For our next round, we are going to do a battle of the bronzers. We're keeping it in the cream family. So on the Charlotte Tilbury side, I'm going to use the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer versus the very popular Rare Beauty Happy Soul Bronzer Stick. So last competition, instead of the cream bronzer that I have today on the Charlotte Tilbury side, I use the Hollywood Contour Stick. But Charlotte Tilbury also has this cream bronzer, so I thought it'd be interesting today to do this against the Rare Beauty bronzer stick because that's all Rare Beauty has in terms of bronzer. And I thought it would be good to do a real cream versus cream instead of liquid versus cream. This Charlotte Tilbury bronzer is very nice. It is more of like a putty consistency. I feel like it gives more of a sheer buildable layer of coverage, has a little bit of a dry down as well. I quite like this bronzer. I do think it's a bit expensive. Comparing it to what's out on the market, I think cream bronzers in general are such a easy formula to nail down. At least these brands have managed to do it. There's so many good cream bronzers on the market. So I do think this one is expensive, but I don't have anything bad to say about it other than I don't reach for it a lot. Now, what I do reach for a lot still is the Rare Beauty cream bronzer. I don't know, y'all. I just think this is a phenomenal product. It's amazing for beginners as well because of how malleable it is. I love the colors that they have. This is one of the best selling cream bronzers, and it's one of my most recommended cream bronzers because I think it is such a foolproof, beautiful product. This Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Fair is a little bit more cool tone versus the Happy Soul color that I did from Rare Beauty, a little bit more warm. But all in all, I think both of these are beautiful cream bronzer formulations, but I do definitely reach for the Rare Beauty more. So Rare Beauty is going to win this round. Next up, we have liquid highlighters. I'm really not a big liquid highlighter fan, but I myself was curious about how these two would match up. For Charlotte Tilbury, I have the Hollywood Flawless Filter. Now, this is a very versatile product. You can use it for more than just a liquid highlight. That's just the capacity I'm using to try it out in today's video. And then for Rare Beauty, I have their liquid luminizer. For the first video, I did the Rare Beauty liquid luminizer versus the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood, what is it, highlighting stick? Wand? You know what I'm talking about. So I thought it'd be interesting to compare these two. So I'm just going to use shade 1 Fair from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm gonna blend this in. Now this one has a little bit more coverage. It's just the nature of the Charlotte Tilbury product. You can do whatever you want with it. Some people even use it as like a super lightweight, super glowy foundation. Some people use it as a glowy base. So on top you could see it's super natural, really pretty. I definitely don't use this way as often as I should. If you get a dark color, some people will use this to contour the face, and the finish and amount of pigmentation that you get is what makes it so versatile. How beautiful is that? Ooh! Yeah, I definitely need to use it like this more. Now, for Rare Beauty, this is one of the more popular liquid luminizers on the market. I'm using Outshine. I don't have a light shade enough to compare really to the Charlotte Tilbury, but I mean, if you know me, you know I'm not a big fan of this Rare Beauty product. I've never liked it. I feel like my skin soaks up all the glow. Comparing it to the Charlotte Tilbury, it is definitely not as smooth on the skin or as pretty on the skin. I came into this video knowing who was going to win, but I did just want to see how they compared next to one another. The Charlotte Tilbury, it has more of a skin-like finish. This Rare Beauty one, it's more true to like a glow, a highlight, but I just don't like this as a liquid highlighter. I don't think it's really good. I'm definitely going to reach for the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter liquid highlight over the Rare Beauty, even if I had it in a different color. So Charlotte Tilbury is going to win the liquid luminizer round. Next round is a popular round, blush. So I was back and forth on what I wanted to compare to the new Rare Beauty luminizing blushes. Ultimately, I decided we're going to do the Beauty Light Glowgasm blush because this is also like a pigmented blush lighter product. I will admit, because I know some of you requested how the Pillow Talk Multi Glows compared to these blushes. That's another time. I'm more curious about these two. So for the Charlotte Tilbury side, I'm using the Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand High Blush in Pink Gasm. And then for the Rare Beauty side, I'm using the Glowy Powder Blush in the shade Truth. These seemed like similar colors. We're going to start off with the Charlotte Tilbury side. The last comparison for blush that I did was the matte version of these from Charlotte Tilbury and then the Soft Pinch liquid blushes from Rare Beauty because that was their only blush and most popular blush formula at the time. I love these Charlotte Tilbury blushes. I do not reach for them enough. I think for a liquid product, they don't mess up anything underneath. And for it being a glowy product as well, they aren't too obnoxiously glowy either. They last a long time. They have some body to them as well, which I think gives them better longevity. Like for a while, these were selling out because they are beautiful. Now I'm using this shade Truth from Rare Beauty and a really soft brush because these are a lot, I'm not gonna lie, especially this color. So this is the trendy product on the internet right now, particularly on TikTok. The shade's a little bit deep on my skin tone, but I think it's gonna translate as close as possible to the Charlotte Tilbury side. Oh, you guys, I have some thoughts about this product. It is an unpopular opinion, and I don't think it's a useless or bad product. There definitely is a spot for it in my beauty routine, but as a blush, as it's advertised, it's an unflattering glow on textured skin. Now, really lightly smacked it on my face. We made it work. You know, it looks good, but if you mess up and you're heavy-handed or you have too dense of a brush, this is too glowy. This is better as a blush topper. For this to be flattering, I need a base color first and then this product over top because it's literally a blush colored highlighter and it's not as flattering all over the cheek. It's good in this amount, but for me, the Charlotte Tilbury, it's just more foolproof. It's more flattering on my skin type. So Charlotte Tilbury will win for this round. I like it better for a glowy blush. However, as a blush topper, I do like this, but I do think it's a bit overhyped. But anyways, Charlotte Tilbury wins this round. So the brands have the exact same powders. Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Powder won last time, so I'm gonna quickly set with this, both sides of the face. Powder highlight. I'm also excited for this round because I compared a different Charlotte Tilbury highlighter last time. So for today, for the Charlotte Tilbury side, I'm using the Pillow Talk Multi Glow. And I'm comparing it, of course, to the OG Rare Beauty highlighter. So I'm using the shade Mesmerize from Rare Beauty and then the Pillow Talk Glow from Charlotte Tilbury. So starting off with Charlotte Tilbury, I am going to stay more on this side to keep the color lighter. I like that about this product, that you can customize the color. So I know we already have the liquid highlight underneath, but I definitely wanted to get the powder highlight over top of this highlight from Rare Beauty. I just don't like it. But I love this too, and this can be used as blush. I also wanted to compare it for the blush, but it would be a bit much. But how pretty is that? Now, comparisons in texture, the Rare Beauty, more silky and light. The Charlotte Tilbury, a little bit more creamy, more wet feeling. Has a little bit more heft to it. I love both of these highlighters. The Rare Beauty, I think, is one of the best highlighters on the market, but side by side, they both look amazing. Even something about the Charlotte Tilbury side I'm really loving today. I think that the Rare Beauty side is emphasizing texture a little bit more, but I love its silky consistency. I came in thinking I was going to pick the Rare Beauty because, to be frank, I use it more, I reach for it more, I recommend it more. But the Charlotte Tilbury side, it's more flattering. It has just about as strong of a gleam, but it's emphasizing less texture. Charlotte Tilbury Multi-Glow is gonna win on this one, and she just re-released these. I can't believe that. I love the Rare Beauty one. Don't let this competition take you away from the Rare Beauty one. It is beautiful. But look at how this highlight is sitting on my skin. I would be lying to you if I didn't put that one as the round winner. We are moving on to the eyes, and I have a new comparison today. I did eyeshadow palettes last time, but for the Charlotte Tilbury side, we are using the Color Chameleons, and for the Rare Beauty side, we are using the eyeshadow stick. I would say these were the closest colors I could find. I'm using Champagne Diamonds from Charlotte Tilbury. This is not a product that I use a lot from the brand. I mostly just use the eyeshadow palettes that she has. But this is quite a creamy eyeshadow stick. I might need to pop a bronzer on both eyes. But what a pretty color this is. I mostly use it for inner corner highlight work. But we're putting it all over the eye today because, to be honest, I don't know which one wears better. The Rare Beauty also wears really nice. Popping this in the inner corner. Really creamy. This is not a product that gets talked a lot about from Charlotte Tilbury, but I do like this for accent work on the eyes. And now I'm using the shade Integrity for Rare Beauty. And I really like these Rare Beauty sticks as well. They wear awesome. I use these all of the time. The shade is not as gleamy or as pretty as the Charlotte Tilbury, if I'm being honest. But overall, I have to say, I do prefer the Rare Beauty to the Charlotte Tilbury. I think it glides over the eye easier. It looks more even than the Charlotte Tilbury side. The color itself is prettier, but the quality of this Rare Beauty is so good. It sets down, it wears really well. So Rare Beauty's gonna win this one. I love their eyeshadow sticks. I'm just gonna pop a little bit of bronzer, a powder bronzer, in my crease real quick. I did a Battle of the Liquid Liners last time, so today we are doing Battle of the Pencil Liners. On the Charlotte Tilbury side, we have the Rockin' Coal Liquid Eye Pencil in the shade Barbella Brown, and on the Rare Beauty side, we have their Perfect Strokes Gel Eyeliner in the shade True Brown. I'm pretty sure I already know which one is going to win this round, but let's double check on that. Ooh, she needs sharpen first. I do very much enjoy this Charlotte Tilbury Eye Kohl. It's one of those eye products that you want to place down first. It's really, really brown. It's a beautiful deep brown shade. And then I'm going to use a pencil brush to blend and work it out. So it is an eye kohl, so it is meant to be a little bit more blendable like this. But I've used this a lot. I mean, she is tiny. And then next we have the Rare Beauty one, which this one is an automatic one. And this one has a little bit of an easier glide across the lash line. It's a different style, but you can definitely get more of a quick line with this. It's a lighter color as well. I'll be honest, I don't use this Rare Beauty one quite as often. But I did get this one done on the Rare Beauty side a lot quicker. Wow, okay, you know what? The Rare Beauty is better. That did apply easier for me. I was honestly thinking probably the Charlotte Tilbury would win because I do use it more. But now I'm seeing it as a little bit more difficult to use. And both of these have decent longevity. I will double check with that in today's wear test. But Rare Beauty is going to win this round. For the next round, we have mascaras. Now, last round, I didn't have a Charlotte Tilbury mascara to review. I had used one through and didn't repurchase it, and I had repurchased the Rare Beauty mascara, so I was like, that's the answer in of itself. But today, we are going to go side by side to reconfirm that. So for the Charlotte Tilbury side, I have the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Mascara. This one isn't in black. It's in the shade Pillow Talk, but we'll make it work. And then for the other eye, I do have one of my favorites, the Rare Beauty Mascara. You know what though? This isn't actually a rematch though, because I was referring to the Legendary Lashes Mascara from Charlotte Tilbury. I hadn't at that point yet tried the Pillow Talk Lashes. So it is still a new roundup for today's video. I have to make sure I'm not looking at the color because I will like the black color of the Rare Beauty more. But I don't really love the applicator of this Charlotte Tilbury. Has a flat side and then a side to comb with. Rare Beauty side, more of a traditional rounded brush. Definitely a lighter weight formula, which can mean it's more prone to flaking. But I'm gonna let these dry, add another coat, and then curl them, and we will see the side by side. And I mean, by a landslide, I just prefer the Rare Beauty formula. The Charlotte Tilbury formula gave me good volume, but the Rare Beauty just like did everything better. So, and it's not just because of the color. We're gonna finish off with lips. Now, the two brands don't have much similar in lips besides like lipstick and lip liners. Charlotte Tilbury lip liner won, so I just used Super Size Me. This was the last time. So I thought we'd do like kind of the battle of the liquid lipsticks. These are different formulas, but on the Charlotte Tilbury side, we have the Airbrush Pillow Talk Blur. It's more of a blurred lipstick formulation, like liquid lipstick formulation. And then on the Rare Beauty side, we have the Matte Lip Cream and Courage. So this doesn't dry down like a liquid lipstick, but they're similar enough, right? So I'm using Pillow Talk Blur for Charlotte Tilbury. To be honest, I don't use either formula very much. Then on the other side, the lip cream. Now the lip cream won't dry down. That's just the nature of the product. Ignore the different shades. This is the shade Courage. You can see it's a little bit more purple and cool toned. Now the winner of this round is actually going to be Charlotte Tilbury because it feels thinner. I prefer the feeling on my lips compared to the Rare Beauty. It just feels thick and drying to me. So that brings the results 5 to 6. So Rare Beauty is either going to win this round or tie because I still haven't decided which foundation I like. Either way, this is a comeback for Rare Beauty because they lost last time. So we'll see if Charlotte Tilbury can pull through in the last second with the better performing foundation to bring it up to a tie and not let Rare Beauty go home with the trophy. But take a look. Which side do you prefer, Charlotte Tilbury or Rare Beauty? What is catching my eye the most is the cheek. Nothing can beat the Charlotte Tilbury blush and highlight. That is where Charlotte Tilbury dominated here. However, the eye of Rare Beauty, I think, looks better, much more even, much more hydrated. And of course, the eyebrow. Like, Rare Beauty absolutely dominated in the eye area, which is funny because they aren't really known for eye products. Take a second, comment down below which side looks better now. I'm gonna catch you guys at the end of the day, and I can give you the final results. Hey guys, so it's been multiple hours later. It's about 10 o'clock right now, but I wanted to give you guys an update on how the makeup wore because I am changing something. So first of all, the last product that I put on was the lip product, and I said Charlotte Tilbury was better, but I'm changing that. So go back to the score. Rare Beauty won that one because I feel like the lip cream wore a lot more gracefully, whereas the Charlotte Tilbury dried and kind of peeled off and it looked not as great as the Rare Beauty. The Rare Beauty also felt better. So even though it started off thicker, it definitely thinned out with wear, but it still kept the opacity. So Rare Beauty wins that. And then for those curious about how the foundation wore, I do think the Charlotte Tilbury side has held up better than the Rare Beauty side. So we are going to give that one back to Charlotte Tilbury. But I have to say, can't believe it, but I think Rare Beauty won this one. Now, looking at my face, I think my complexion looks better with the Charlotte Tilbury. That has to do with the foundation, and also, God, nobody does a cheek product like Charlotte Tilbury. Oh my gosh, the highlight, the blush, it's stunning. And Rare Beauty does a good cheek product as well. They are known for their cheek products actually, but Charlotte Tilbury still takes the cake. Rare Beauty is a more affordable option. Not saying much, but it is more affordable than Charlotte Tilbury. But the eyes with the eyeshadow stick and the eyeliner, it's pulled together. It looks better on the Rare Beauty side. So I'm happy to announce that Rare Beauty is the winner today, because in the first video, part 1, Charlotte Tilbury was the clear winner. So with the new products and the new competition, I'm happy that Rare Beauty ended up coming up on top. And overall, I mean, these are both fantastic brands. I think that my makeup, after all of these hours later, look fantastic also. So, yay for that. It was a good battle today, and I'm happy that the underdog came out on top. Let me know down below which brand you think should have won today. What are the next brands you want to see go head-to-head against each other for a makeup competition? These are such a fun video to film, I've got to say. So I want to start doing these more, and I will leave you with that. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and talking makeups. Bye, have a good one.